Hello everyone, welcome back. So today's topic is we are going to look at the string functions and slash methods. So we are going to understand methods. So we are going to basically learn the string functions and so these are the functions that we are going to look at. That is all num, is alpha, is digit, is lower, is space, is upper, lower and upper functions. So these are the functions that we are going to look at. Okay, so let's immediately we will start. So we will take one by one. Now before I start with these functions, let me tell you that in Python everything is an object. Okay, Python is purely an object oriented language. So when we use any variable or even a string variable, even that is an object. So before we use these functions, okay, so I'll just tell you the syntax how we are going to use it. So for example, s is the string, or simply if I say s is equal to hello world, okay, and if I use, so how I'm supposed to use this function is I'm going to use this s dot. Okay, now this dot, you can say that is an access operator. You can call this as an access operator to access the functions. For example, s dot, is all num. Okay, now what this function does, that I'm going to tell you, but understand the syntax first. So string dot and then the function name. Now let me tell you, when we have any object, since everything is object in Python, so when we have the object and when we access the function of that object, okay, when we access the function of that object, okay, then in that case we call this function as a method. Okay, then we not, so I have said this, that function slash method, because it's one and the same thing. But when we access a function of a object, then we call that as a method. Okay, we have previously used many predefined functions of Python, like len, which is an independent function, like range, which is also an independent function. Okay, but this is not an independent function. It is associated with the object string, with the string object, understand it. And so when we access any object, any function of an object, we call that as a method. So method is basically a function of an object, understand that. Okay, so now let us understand what is all num. Now is all num is a function that uh, will check that if the string contains alphabets and numbers, or both, or either of the one. For example, if I can use s, or I can simply use the string itself, okay, and I can print it. Now this function, basically this function or method, will basically return either true or false. So if I say something like hello, okay, and if I say dot is all num, so basically it has alphabets, so this will return true. Okay, even if it has some numbers, still it will return true, because this is alphabet or number. That is what it means, is alphabet or number. So the string is alphabet or number. Okay, so let us just run this and we will see the output for this. Okay, I'll just save this. Okay, now we will see the output. Okay, so here is the output, that is true. Now why it has given the output as true? Because it has the alphabets and numbers. So it is okay. This is what we, if you want to check if any string has alphabet and numbers, then in that case we can use this function. But what if I have some special character like hash? Okay, now let us see the output first. Okay, in that case it will give me false, because hash, this is a special character. It is not an alphabet or it is not a number. Okay, and if I have only alphabet, still it will give me the output as true. You can see over here. Okay, and if it only has the numbers, it will still give me the output as true. You can see over here. Okay, so if it can have alphabets or only numbers or both, but no special character. If it has any special character or anything else, in that case this function or method will return false. Okay, so that's about is all num. Now let us move to is alpha. Is alpha is something that we want to only check whether the character has only alphabet. Over here, if you see, this string has numbers into it, so can you guess the output? It will give the output as false. Why false? Because the string doesn't have any alphabet. In fact, all the string, the entire string should have only alphabet. But if I give something like this, okay, now it has the alphabet, and you can see the output now, that is true. Okay, so now if I have some numbers over here, now this will not work. Okay, because it says that the string should have only alphabet, so we have the output as false. So if you want to check any string which you want to see, you want to check whether it has only alphabets, in that case you will use this function. Okay, now let us move to isdigit. Isdigit is as equal, is the same that is alpha, so the string should contain only digits. So if this has only digits, that's 1 2 3 4, in that case I will have the output as, okay, I did not change over here, is digit. Okay, is digit. So in that case it will give me the output as true, because the string has only numbers, you can see over here. But if I have only, if one character, one alphabet, in that case it will give me the output as false, or any other character, still the output will go as false. Okay, you can see over here, false, right? So if you want to check that a particular string, if it contains only digits or not, in that case you will use this function. Okay, this function slash method. Islower is something that if all the characters in the strings are in lowercase, only in that case it will give you the output as true, or else it will give the output as false, or any other character. So if you see, we got it true. Now if I give something like capital QWE, something like this, now this has one capital, so what will happen is it will give me the output as false. So this function works like if all the characters in the string, if they are in lowercase, only in that case this function will return true, or else it will return false with any upper character, or with any other character, any other special characters, it will give the output as false. Okay, and similarly we have the function that is isupper. So if it is, everything is in uppercase, right, and you can see the output for this, it will be true, because all the characters are in uppercase. But even if the one character goes in lowercase, so in that case you can see the output, we will get the output as false. So we will have it over here, false, right, or any other digits, any other characters, special characters, it will give as false. So this function basically says all the characters in the string should be alphabets, plus they should be in uppercase. Okay, now lower and upper is something that if we need to convert this, for example, if I have this in QWERT and I simply use upper, so what this function will do, the function will convert this into uppercase and will return the string. You can see the output out here. So these are lowercase, and you can see the output, it is in uppercase, right? And similarly the lower and upper, if I give this as lower and the characters are in capital, so in that case it will give me the output as the lower characters. Now what if I have a lot of numbers out here and a lot of small numbers, okay, and then some special characters, over here. Now what will happen over here? And I say lower. Now there are some characters, alphabets, that is Q, W, E, R and A, S, D, F, G, right? And then there are some numbers, there are some special characters. Now what will happen over here? You can see the output. The output that we will get is only the alphabets that are in lower case that will get converted into lower, that the characters which were in uppercase will get converted into lowercase, and rest of the character it will just ignore it. It will not do any operations because they are not alphabets basically, right? So similarly you can work with upper. If I say this upper, okay, if I say this as upper, and if okay, let this be upper, and then over here I'll give something in lowercase like my name itself, and now we will see the output. Okay, so if you see the output, okay, if you see the output over here, these are already in uppercase, so it will not perform any operation. These are the characters, it will print as it is, and only you can see this Ajay, right? It got converted into capital over here. You can see over here, right? So if you want that in a string, maybe there are some other characters, you don't have to do anything in that. But if there are some small case characters, then you can use this upper function to convert that character into the character into uppercase. If there are certain lowercase characters, and you can use a lower function if there are some uppercase characters, then you have to convert those characters in in the uppercase, right? So if I mean to say that if there are some characters, as I've used this, if there are some lowercase character, this will convert them into upper, and if there are some uppercase characters, you can use this lower function to convert that into the lower character. So I hope you got this, how you're going to do it. So what we will do is now, we will not end this tutorial, we'll just take a small program. Okay, so what we will do is first I'll just take two simple programs. Is first we will take string, right, and input from the user, enter a string, okay, and what I will do is I will simply print the characters in uppercase, simple as that. Okay, so if I enter like a J, so you can see the output is in capital, right? But what I can do is I can also use the function that is islower. So if I use the if condition and I say s dot is lower, if it is in lower, if the characters are, if all the characters in the strings are in lower, what I will do is I will convert that into upper. Okay, so this will return either true or false. Depending on that, it will execute the block code. And if I then I'll just give a elif s dot is upper. Okay, if it is in uppercase, in that case I will convert that into lower. Okay, so I'm just doing the reverse of it. Okay, and I will again give elif or simply else, and I'll just print it as wrong. Okay, wrong input. Okay, now we will see the output. We'll run this program. So if anything, if I give in lowercase, you can see it got into upper, and if anything I give in upper case like this one, you can see that got converted into lower. And if any other output input if I give, so basically over here or something like this, right? So you can see it got converted, but the numbers are as it is, still it got converted into lowercase. Okay, so this is how you can work with this. And what if I give certain input, like for the wrong input I'll just give certain numbers. Okay, so over here you can see it says the wrong input, right? So you can, this is how you can use this program. Now what if I want to count the number of upper cases and the number of lower cases and the number of a number of okay, one function that I forgot to tell you, that was isspace. So we can also calculate how many spaces it has. So isspace, before we develop that program, we will just take that isspace. Basically it works like if there is only spaces, so isspace will return true. So if I say like space dot is space, right, is space, so you can see the output over here. So the string should have only space. In that case it gives true. It is very simple to understand. If any other character, if you put it and you can run this, okay, and you can see that it will give the output as false. So what we will do is we will just write a program, and we will take a input as input. So let us take the string as an input and enter a string, okay. And then what we will do is we will use a for. We will access the character by character. So I in with the in operator s. So what will happen over here, I will initially have the first character. It will access the first character from the string, and then it will execute the block code. Then I will take the next character, and then it will execute the block code, and so on. Okay, so now what we need to do is I will just use a if statement, and there are certain variables that we will use, is like upper case is equal to 0, lower case is equal to 0, space is equal to 0, right, and numbers or digits is equal to 0. Okay, this is what we will check. So if I say is I dot, so now what we are doing over here is we are accessing character by character. Okay, so I will have the first character. For example, if I give this input as s is equal to hello, okay, understand it. So I will initially have the only one character, that is h, and then we will check whether that character is lower. If it is lower, what will I do? I will what will I do? I will increment the variable lowercase by 1. Elif I dot is upper, so in that case I will increment the variable that is uppercase is equal to 1. So I'm just incrementing that variable by 1. This is like lowercase is equal to lowercase case plus 1, so this will get incremented by 1. Okay, this is a short form by which we can use it in Python. Okay, plus equal to means lowercase is equal to lowercase plus 1. This is, I'll just write it over here. So this is like lowercase is equal to lowercase plus 1. Okay, understand this. So initially it is 0, so 0 plus 1 1. Again we assign it to lowercase, so it gets incremented by 1. Then okay, something went wrong over here. I'll just rectify that. Elif, right? And then again elif, if I is what is digit, so in that case what I will do is I will increment digit plus equal to 1. Then elif elif I dot is space. So in that case what I will do is I will increment the space variable plus equal to 1. And then outside the loop I will just print the variables that are lowercase, okay, comma lowercase, and so on. Just copy this, paste it outside the loop. I will display all the statistics. Okay, this went down. Now this was lowercase, okay, this is uppercase, this is I can give space, and this I can give as digits. Okay, so I will just change the message over here, that is uppercase, keep it capital, uppercase, okay, and spaces, right, something up this way, then digits, okay, this is digits, and that's it. I don't require this, maybe. Okay, now let us run this and see the output. If everything goes fine, we will have the right output. So I'll just give something like over here, there's something in lower, something in digits, something space, and again some characters. Okay, now let us see this output. Okay, so something went wrong. Okay, now what went wrong is lower, is upper, is I'm incrementing that, and is digits plus 1 is okay. So lowercase, uppercase, let us just see what exactly went wrong. This I will is lower, okay, is upper, and for I in s. Okay, what is the output? I will just see the output again. Let us check it again, what went wrong, and space, and there's some numbers. It is saying 5 and space. Okay, so we will just see if, okay, I will just not give the space at this point. Let's see if it works, what exactly went wrong. Just a minute, okay, lowercase is 5, it is given 5, so lowercase is 5. Achha, oh, that is the mistake that we did. Okay, we already assigned s over here. Okay, so we just need to remove this. Oh, so that was just a silly mistake. So now we will run this. Okay, I'll give certain space, certain into small, and certain numbers. Okay, now let us see the output. Here it is. So lowercase 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So we have 7 characters that are in lowercase. Uppercase 1 2 3 4 5 6. Spaces, this is 1 space, this is 2 space, so we have 2 spaces. And digits 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Perfect output, isn't it? So this is how you can develop the program, and you need to practice. As I said, you practice, it becomes very easy. So I hope that this tutorial is very much clear to you. Okay, bye for now. So if you have liked my video, do subscribe to my channel. There is a subscribe button in front of you. Click it right away, and after that click on the bell icon so that you can get the regular notifications of my videos. Bye for now.